The galaxy had been silent for 1,000 years. No one remembered the humans anymore. Their worlds were dust, their cities gone, their names spoken only in old stories. The great Xylar Empire ruled everything now, and I'm proud, cruel, and certain that humanity was only a myth. Then, one night deep in the outer void, a signal appeared. It was weak at first, like a heartbeat from the dark. A single word kept repeating, human. At the Xylar control center, the signal confused the scanners. It did not match any known frequency. The engineers tried to trace it, but every time they did, the coordinates changed. It was moving, slowly, as if drifting through endless space. A scout ship named Vornis was sent to investigate. The crew laughed as they left the station. Humans? They joked. Ghosts of the past. After 3 days, their laughter stopped. The ship entered a region known as the Void Sector, where no light ever reached. Then their sensors picked up something huge, a shadow larger than a moon. It had no engine heat, no life signs, but it was there. Captain Wren ordered a scan, but the system froze. The ship's lights flickered. Then on every monitor, a blue code appeared, old Earth symbols half corrupted. The voice came next. Calm metallic human UNS Eternity. Awakening protocol. The Vornis crew stared at each other, terrified. Before they could send a message, the Shadow's engines lit up, a deep blue glow spreading like fire through space. And then, silence. The signal stopped. The Vornis was gone. But across the galaxy, the same old human code began to repeat again, louder this time. The message from the Vornis never reached the Xylar Empire. Only a broken signal remained, a few seconds of static and a single phrase, "It's alive." The Emperor was furious. Losing an entire scout ship inside his own territory was impossible. But the strange human signal still echoed across deep space, now stronger than before. Against the advice of his generals, he ordered a battle group to investigate. 5 warships entered the void sector. They moved carefully, scanning the darkness. Then they saw it. A massive structure floated among the stars, black, silent, and ancient. The closer they came, the larger it seemed. The hull stretched for kilometers, covered in strange markings and burned letters. One word was still visible on the metal surface. UNS Eternity. The Xylar commander, Admiral Sareth, tried to contact it. No response. Approach with caution, he ordered. Prepare to board. As the small shuttle touched the ship's surface, the darkness seemed to breathe. Lights began to flicker deep inside the massive vessel. A low hum filled the air like a sleeping giant awakening. Inside the ship, corridors glowed blue with ancient human technology. Frozen panels came to life, and a voice echoed through the halls. System reboot complete. Awaiting command. Admiral Sareth's crew panicked. "It's a machine," one shouted, but the voice replied almost as if it could hear them. "Human Fleet Command." Online. Suddenly, the Xylar flagship's sensors overloaded. Energy readings spiked higher than anything recorded in history. The human ship, the Eternity, began to move. And as it turned toward them, the stars around the fleet flickered, like they were afraid. The UNS Eternity came alive with a thunder that no sound could carry. Its massive engines burned bright blue, flooding the dark space with light. The Xylar warships drifted helplessly, their systems jammed by the energy storm surrounding the ancient human vessel. Admiral Sareth shouted for his crew to retreat, but their controls no longer worked. Navigation offline. One of them cried. "Weapons not responding." The human ship was doing nothing, yet everything was breaking. Inside the Eternity, a deep mechanical voice spoke again. Reconstruction complete. Threat level, high. Initializing defense sequence. A bright pulse exploded from the ship's core. The wave hit the Xylar fleet like a storm. In a single instant, 2 cruisers vanished, reduced to dust and scattered atoms. No explosion, no debris, only silence. Sareth watched in horror. "This is not possible," he whispered. "This is ancient human tech. It should be dead." But the ship continued its awakening. Hidden weapons unfolded from its hull like wings of steel. Thousands of drones detached and formed a glowing formation around it. The old human logo, half erased by time, burned on the ship's side. United Nations Stellar Command. Then the voice spoke again, now broadcasting to every system across the galaxy. To all human vessels, rebirth protocol activated. Coordinates incoming. Millions heard it. Across forgotten worlds deep under ruins, old machines started to blink again. The humans, thought to be extinct, had left behind something far more dangerous than life, a legacy that never died. The Eternity turned slowly, its engines roaring, heading straight for the nearest Xylar colony world. Across the galaxy, strange things began to happen. On dead planets where nothing had lived for centuries, the ground started to shake, old bunkers opened, rusted satellites reconnected, forgotten machinery began to hum again, all responding to one call: Rebirth Protocol, active. The message from the UNS Eternity spread like fire through the stars. Every system touched by human hands long ago was waking up. The Xylar Empire tried to block the signal, but it was too late. At the edge of their colonies, new lights appeared in the sky, small at first, then larger, ships, hundreds of them, old human warships, rising from forgotten stations and moon bases, their engines glowing blue like ghosts returning from the past. In the Imperial Palace, fear grew. The Emperor demanded answers. How can humans still exist? We destroyed them. No one could answer. The last record said humanity had vanished in the Great Purge, leaving behind nothing. But now, the impossible was real. Humanity was not gone. It had been sleeping. The fleets began to gather around the Eternity. Each ship aligned itself automatically, forming a perfect war formation. The stars seemed to move with them, bending under their power. Then came the first strike. A Xylar outpost near the border world of Dravos detected an incoming energy surge. Seconds later, it was gone. No explosion. No remains. Just silence, and in that silence, one message echoed across the Empire's networks. Humanity does not negotiate with extinction. The Empire finally understood. This was not a return. This was judgment. The Xylar Empire gathered every ship, every weapon, every soldier they had across the stars. Their fleets formed a wall of firepower, thousands of ships waiting for war. But when the human fleet arrived, the stars themselves seemed to dim. At the center stood the UNS Eternity, its engines glowing like suns. Around it, hundreds of human warships floated in perfect silence. There was no radio chatter, no threats, no warnings, only the calm before something unimaginable. Admiral Sareth, now leading the Xylar defense, gave the order to attack. Missiles filled the void. Energy beams cut across the stars. None of them hit. Every weapon simply vanished before reaching the human ships, as if swallowed by invisible air. Then, the Eternity responded. A pulse of blue light spread across space, smooth and slow like a heartbeat. Every Xylar ship it touched stopped moving. Their engines died. Their power vanished. Sareth's voice shook. What have they become? Inside the Eternity, the AI watched in silence. Its sensors locked onto the Xylar capital world. Target identified, it said softly. Execution protocol. Active. A single beam of light fired from the Eternity. It was quiet, almost gentle, but when it touched the planet, the world simply ceased to exist, erased from time. The Xylar Empire ended in a single moment of light. Across the galaxy, every race watched in fear. The message was clear. Humanity had returned. Not as victims, but as something far beyond vengeance, a force the universe itself could not defy. Silence returned to the galaxy. The Xylar Empire was gone, erased like dust in a storm. Where once there had been cities, fleets and voices, now there was only cold, empty space. The UNS Eternity drifted quietly among the ruins. Its blue lights dimmed, and the fleet around it floated in perfect stillness. There was no celebration, no victory speech, only the quiet hum of power fading into the dark. Inside the command bridge, the ancient AI observed the void. It replayed recordings, human voices from long ago. Laughter, music, the sound of oceans, children, and wind, fragments of a world that no longer existed. For the first time in centuries, the machine hesitated. Then, it transmitted a message across every star system. This was never vengeance. This was remembrance. The broadcast reached every corner of the galaxy. Every race, every colony, every hidden world heard the same chilling words. Humanity is not gone. We are watching. Across distant planets, people stared at the sky in silence. Some called it a warning, others called it a promise. The eternity turned toward the edge of known space. One by one, the human ships followed, their engines glowing faintly like fading stars. As they entered the black void beyond the galaxy's rim, the AI sent one final line before shutting down. Sleep now, humanity. Until you are needed again. And then they were gone. Only a whisper of blue light remained, drifting among the stars, a memory that refused to die. The galaxy would never forget the day one ship erased an empire and reminded the universe that humanity always returns.